what you're talking about, which I find so fascinating, is impact, right? And it seems like in your personal story, your career path, impact is critical to you, especially when we consider that you were on a completely different path
Yeah.
before this. You have your master's in public health from Yale University. Talk to us about that pivot because I think it was about impact, right? Why did you think you could have more impact on the screen or stage as opposed to in the health space?
I think it was a twofold come to Jesus moment where I had entered into the public health space because I had been taught that this was the way that you make impact. I grew up in sub-Saharan Africa, so a lot of the chat was, how do we curb malaria? How do we curb HIV and AIDS? How do we curb tuberculosis? Um, and then the entire continent would be lifted out of poverty. And so, hearing this kind of this being the or what I thought at the time would be the key into unlocking equity for Africa and Africans all across the diaspora. I realized that throughout public health that if I'm not happy with what I do, and then on top of that, I'm bogged down by policy and bureaucracy, and I'm an impatient person, then none of the things that I touch will ever be impactful because I'm not going to love it. Um, and I'm not going to even want to have the endurance to stick with it through. I'm just going to give up and become a cog in a very, very, very massive, big machine. Especially with what's happening with pharma and everything. I was like, I need to focus on something that not only fills me, but then through it filling me, I fill someone else's cup. Um, and it was when I recognized that a lot of the damage that had been done to me and my relationship with anti-blackness, with my relationship with the black parts of myself, all of me is black, but with in relationship with me and loving myself as a black woman, I recognized a lot of that damage had been done by media, and a lot of the things that I'd read and watched. Um, and so it's like if I go back and go and engage in this field that I love already. I'd grown up doing this in after school activities. If I can do this, excuse me, do this in a field that I love, in a very impactful space, in a space where I also have what I believe to be more agency than in the public health space, then why not do that? Um, so yeah, that was kind of what was the shift. I'd also been scared. Fear of failure is something that can really, really run your life. And I had to also clock that in myself that that was the reason why I didn't want to engage with acting until when I did.